And I've read several of his books, read news articles he's done, bought his super memory thing decades ago, and it's all just stuff that's so well documented. I mean, take his Natural Cures book that they don't want you to know about. This is all mainline stuff that's backed up all these scientific studies that they've known for hundreds of years, that it helps you. And then they're coming after him for that. Folks, this is serious if they're able to shut him down.
Hey, what's up, everyone? So I got to meet the legendary one and only Kevin Trudeau. And for those of you who like Kevin, or you hate Kevin, or you're unsure about Kevin, you don't even know who he is, check out this video, because I grabbed some video along the way on my business trip this past weekend. And yeah, there's a few really, really cool takeaways that I have from it. All right, let's do it. So, this past weekend, right? So Kevin Trudeau, right? He's a businessman, written many books, best-selling author, run all sorts of companies, and he's got quite the assortment of views on him, right? Some people love him and think he's the second coming of Jesus Christ. Some people despise him and think he is nothing but a snake oil salesman. People have all sorts of opinions about him, right? But I found his training, Your Wish Is Your Command, years ago. One of my dear friends and mentors had shared it with me, and it really helped, right? It was like the first training that I heard that had just tons and tons of knowledge and wisdom in it that really helped me to see like how to build a business, how to think about success and goals. And even in the training, Kevin's saying, don't believe me, I'm just sharing the message with you, like look at it for yourself, right? So I'd always had that initial starting point with listening to Jin and everything, and also the other businesses and stuff that I do. Like, I'm not here to just believe anyone. I'm here to look at it for myself. And I'd encourage you, look at that. Like, don't just take words that I'm saying, right? Look at the stuff for yourself, develop your own discernment. But sometimes it helps to have a friend or someone near you that is able to kind of give their take on things, so you can kind of counsel with people. So yeah, I mean, I've been a fan of Kevin for a long time. Been through Jin. I'm level 6 in Jin, and it's a fun group, right? There's a lot of value to be had from it, and there's a lot of cool people that you can meet through Jin and through the Kevin training. So anyway, this was his first public appearance after he had been away. He got locked up you can read about it online of why it exactly happened, but Kevin's not afraid to speak out.
You want to put me in jail? Let's go to court, baby.
Like, he has his radio show. He used to have his radio show. He's openly saying stuff like there are cures out there that are natural, so you don't need to just take pharmaceuticals.
Kevin, thank you so much for saving my life and just making me a healthy person.
Right, and some people don't like him saying that, and so anyway, for a variety of reasons, right? He had to go away for a while, we'll say. But he's out, and it was his first public appearance in Chicago. So I took a train down, right? Basically, in 48 hours, I left here, took a train down to Chicago. It was actually a beautiful train ride. Ton of fun.
We just need some weed. We got mouths, we gotta feed. Kill a beat to keep the lease. Gotta step on your feet. Know the dream, it isn't cheap. Tryna take us overseas. Put some masses in a seat since the age of 17.
This is the beginning of 48 hours, basically going to Chicago, coming back to Minneapolis before even half the weekend's over, really. Yeah, this is gonna be awesome. This gentleman named Kevin Trudeau, quite controversial guy, but thanks to him, I've met a lot of my favorite people in my life, and just in general, like everything he's built with Jin. So gonna go pay homage to him. It's his first appearance in public since he got locked up. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, Kevin seems awesome. I mean, I've listened to his trainings hundreds of times, so gonna go make sure he's real.
I got 7-figure dreams. I got 7-figure dreams. I got 7-figure dreams. I got 7-figure dreams. 7-figure dreams. I got 7-figure dreams. I got 7-figure dreams. I got 7-figure.
Well, what is up, y'all? Made it to Chicago, near some of the biggest, I think that is actually the tallest skyscraper in the U.S. You can fact check me on that, but I'm here now, about to, gotta grab an Uber across town, but I'm here because you gotta get in the room with people, and you gotta be with people physically. Like, I'm happy to take a train or a plane to get in the room with people because, one, I can work from anywhere, and two, being in person, something different happens, okay? So I'll be doing a lot more events in the future, and if you want to stay up to date on the events, like masterminds, stuff where we talk about training that we can't really talk about online, let me know, right? And, for now, I'm just gonna stroll the streets here, find some dinner, and then go out to this event. That was pretty cool, walking across the canal here. So I'm gonna enjoy the city for a little bit. The benefits of traveling is you get out of your normal day-to-day patterns. So for example, like earlier today, I was looking at just different patterns that I've seen within my life of stuff where I'm still not going all out, right? Not going at my fullest potential. So for you, right, if you care about going to your utmost potential, you got to find different ways to get out of your routine, on a consistent basis. Don't change your routine every day, right? Because success requires predictability, right? You have to be predictable and stable. But when you can sustainably and systematically then travel, right, go to new places, you learn a lot about yourself, right? It's amazing. So yeah, I found an Amazon Go, so I'm going to check out Amazon Go. I've heard a lot of things about these. We don't have them in Minneapolis, so I'll report back, see what they're experimenting with. I see back there, you have to actually have the app to get in. I'm not downloading that app. It's fun to have a network of people that you can go to events with. For those of you who are looking for cool people to be able to travel with, have fun with, also do business with, basically work on like amazing projects together. If you don't have that, I suggest, it's like one of the greatest joys of my life is having that. So I had a ton of fun. We're in downtown Chicago now, walking around. Gonna hopefully see some cool views. But yeah, hanging out with some great friends, and just overall, again, like if you don't have people like this in your life, like reach out. I mean, nothing's preventing you from creating this. So yeah, that is my wish for you. Made it to the event. Here we go. Have some cool photos from last night, but Kevin should be speaking soon. This will be fun. So I'll keep you updated. So I got to finally give him a hug and properly thank him. Because one, I used your wish is your command. I shared it with Jessica, my now wife, like right when I met her. I could tell she was like really into learning about success and growth and all that stuff. And so I got to thank Kevin basically for saying like, hey, like, thanks, you helped me kind of get my now wife, as well as just some other closest friends and people that I work with. Like many of us met through Jen, which is one of Kevin's groups. So it was cool, right? And I got to talk to him, got a picture with him, everything. But I got to ask him a couple questions, and we chat about the World Economic Forum and these different groups in the world that are, have kind of nefarious intentions. And I asked Kevin any advice that he has on how to go up, and because I see part of my purpose that I've given myself is to really make sure that we can create a world that's best for everyone, and we can create different systems. And there's a quote that it's throughout the whole training. Kevin actually got it from Napoleon Hill. But it's whatever the mind of man can conceive and bring itself to believe, it can achieve. And part of what my mind has conceived, along with the help of my close friends and network, is we can conceive of a system where we could ensure that everyone's got their basic needs met. For example, even here in America, there's still kids that go to bed hungry. There's still kids that can't read. There's still kids that you could expose them to some of Kevin's trainings, but they couldn't even comprehend it. Just because of education and issues and all that stuff. And so part of what I view for the world is having a system where we can make sure that people at least got their basic needs met. And then from there they can, participate then in capitalism and build a business and stuff like that. So, I got to just chat at a very high level with Kevin about that. And it was interesting, his feedback. He talked a little bit about being the change you want to see in the world, right? Because, so often we can say, hey, we should do this, you should do this, you should do this. But of course it comes back to yourself first. And he gave a few cool one-liners on how to look at people in your life or people in the world that don't really want to change, and not so much focusing on that. Rather, of course, be the change within yourself, and then, build and act and all of that. And then through your actions, right, that can then either influence others or it won't influence others. But, don't let that hold you back. So it was cool, right? Because I could have imagined what Kevin would have said, but to be able to ask him firsthand, I really appreciated that opportunity. And then, so then that was the end of the night, Friday night, and I was there till late. And then Saturday he gave another kind of a special workshop training. That was really cool too, because Kevin was giving perspective on how reality works is you have to give. For example, if you have a garden and you're expecting a harvest, but you're not willing to give seeds to put in the soil, you ain't gonna have a garden. Or if you want you have a wood stove, you're like, wood stove, come on, give me heat. It's not gonna give you heat unless you put in wood. So it was a good reminder. I'm just a big fan of this quote that we need to be reminded more often than we need to be taught. new things. And it was cool because it was a lot of Kevin. He went over stuff that he'd spoken about before. I mean, he shared some new stories that I'd never heard before, which I always appreciate that, right? It's fun to have new novel stories, but also like just hearing his take and just seeing him actually deliver the message. I mean, he's a master speaker. He's a master commanding a crowd and just sharing value and getting people to just really be present. Because I noticed like halfway through, it was like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Halfway through, I'm just absorbed in what he's saying. And I do have to say, I really admire that about Kevin, his skill of communication. I would say my main takeaways is realizing the power of being around people. And just having that level of conversation with people and taking the opportunities that you can get, right? Have the balance of, like, you have to have a system in your life, especially for your entrepreneurs or people building a business. You got to be focused and you got to stay systematic every single day. But also you'll have opportunities where you can travel and go expand yourself, and you'll know, like, you can do a gut check, like self-honesty, and look at, okay, is this actually going to expand me, or am I just like avoiding responsibility? So so I went, did the whole trip and everything, but then Sunday right back to work, right? And it was fun because I know I'm expanded, my perspective's expanded. It's like the battery got fully recharged, and I got a trip here in July going to Florida as well. But just overall, I'm just very grateful to this network that I've continued to build, and I do my best to give and share value and really live like what Kevin was talking about. And and overall, just out of everything I said in this video, if anything stuck out to you, go ahead, reach out to me or leave a comment. And also, I have my notes from the conference that I'm gonna put into, I call it the 7-figure vault. It's basically stuff that I've learned from millionaires, multimillionaires. I mean, Kevin's made over $1 billion. I think it's like $3 billion is publicly what it is. Otherwise, leave a comment if you like Kevin, if you don't like Kevin, right? Let's exchange some conversation in the comments. And I hope this video was illuminating for you. So, all right, see you in the next one.